Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Work on YouTube. I'm your host Rompe, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Steve Cohen press conference. Because you already know, we talk Mets and all baseball here. We're also going to be talking about the Alex Cora press conference as well. Not too much about it, but just want to, talk a little bit of tidbits, talk a little bit of stuff that he was mentioning and how I feel about the whole situation. So we're going to start with that. As we all know, AJ Hinch and Alex Cora are back in Major League Baseball, both managing in the American League again. Alex Cora goes back to his ball club, the Boston Red Sox. AJ Hinch goes to Detroit, rebuilding team, a team that's, going to be bad for a while, but he's a good manager and I feel like things will change. Now, that's just my opinion, because the consensus was never that these were bad people. They just were involved in something that was bad for baseball. Really much put a black eye on the sport. And the way Major League Baseball handled that situation didn't help anybody in that case. What needed to be done wasn't done when it came down to the Houston Astros cheating scandal. As we all know, Alex Cora was the bench coach, AJ Hinch was the head coach when the Houston Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2017 in a 7-game World Series. A lot of people were involved in that situation. And evidently, now that these guys are back in baseball, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away because apparently the general manager, he got fired. And he's not letting up. And I don't blame him. This is a collaborative effort. I feel like a lot of people knew what was going on, and it was wrong. But again, if you guys want to hear me talk a little bit more about how I feel about the Houston Astros and the cheating scandal, listen to the podcast this Friday. We're going to have a lot more on that, but basically, Alex Cora, AJ Hinch, back in Major League Baseball, back managing again. Carlos Beltran got a bad end of that deal in a way, and I hope the Mets bring him back in some capacity. I don't know, maybe if it's front office or, as a coach or something, because I really felt like he could have handled it. I felt like he could have handled it. I felt like he should not have been fired. To be honest, he was a player. None of the players got suspended. None of the players got penalized for anything involving that situation. And he got penalized for it and thrown under the bus, basically. But again, if you guys want to hear more about that Houston Astros cheating scandal, head over to the podcast this Friday. We're going to drop that for you guys, and it's going to be a nice episode. We're going to have a good guest on there. Very important. So stay tuned to the social media so you can find out who it is that's going to come and get this work on the podcast. So, to the bigger news. The New York Mets, Steve Cohen, Sandy Alderson, do the official press conference yesterday, and it was amazing. It was the best thing I've ever listened to. The way he spoke about how passionate he is about the team, and the things he said, the things that Sandy Alderson said. Me as a Met fan, now I'm going to speak for myself. I am preparing for the best case scenario this winter when it pertains to the Mets. They're in a great position right now. The position that they're in is basically a new owner coming into the league, not feeling the effects of COVID. That is a recipe for some good stuff. There are going to be some non-tender situations that are going to be big coming up. And also qualifying offers. The Mets only extended one qualifying offer. That was to Marcus Stroman. And I believe he's going to accept. If you guys saw the first episode, I explained that. I believe he's going to accept. He's walking it all the way down to the deadline. He could have announced it today. I think in his mind he was waiting to hear what was going to happen, how Steve Cohen was going to talk, what was going to happen. And I believe that he, after hearing all this, seeing everything he saw today, he's invested. He wants to come back, get that year. Because the good thing about the qualifying offer and the new rules that they did on it was that a player could only be extended a qualifying offer once. And if they ever been extended a qualifying offer, they cannot be extended a qualifying offer again. So, in a way, I feel like this is an opportunity for him to just grab the $18 million, work on his craft, come back to a ball club that's going to be in position to possibly win a championship. Possibly. But postseason is first, building blocks. This is a team that's not far away. If we have Syndergaard, if we have Stroman, it's a completely different ball club. Now, he's going to accept. I believe it. I know it. I feel it. He's going to accept the offer. But again, like I said, Steve Cohen said so much good in this press conference from him being an ultimate fan, a rabid fan. It's what he called himself and his wife and his family, rabid Mets fans. His father-in-law still goes to the game. Season ticket holder's been going to every single game, every home game. I mean, that's amazing. And he proceeded to talk about what he wants to do. He wants to help the community. He wants to build around the community. So he's going to invest in the community, in the area, in the team outside the field. His wife is going to spearhead the Mets Foundation. And I think she's going to do a great job. She's already doing a good job with the Cohen Foundation. So, I mean, from that to just really speaking to the fans, speaking about how dedicated he is to trying to build a winning championship and an iconic like he wants to turn the Mets to an iconic franchise, which is possible. It's a lovable franchise. It has a passionate fan base, a big fan base, one of the loudest fan base on Twitter. And he wants to deliver to that fan base. And that listening to that is like, oh man, tell me more. And then he goes on, talks about how he's not worried about the Yankees. The Yankees won 27, 28 championships. We're not worried about that. We're focusing on us. We're the Mets. That's what we're focusing on. And, that's what you want to hear. Not worried about the Yankees. I'm worried about us. We gonna compete. They gotta catch up, son. For real. They gotta play catch up. So, hearing that is like gold. Then he went on talking about how he doesn't he doesn't micromanage. So he's not going to be a middling guy. He's not going to be that owner that's going to be hovering around James Dolan style, you know, Jerry Jones from the Cowboys. Like, he's not going to be doing that kind of stuff. He's going to be involved because it's his team. He's going to be, you know, around. He's going to be involved, but in a owner capacity, you know. The final decision, he's not in it to make decisions when it comes to on-field stuff. He's going to leave that to Sandy Alderson, who is the president of the New York Mets. Not of baseball ops, president of the Mets. So he is the one that's going to be making the decision. Everything runs through him. Perfect. Sandy Alderson came on, talked about how Scott Boras made a comment once that the Mets, they shop at the discount aisle. So basically, you know, the Mets, they go into the dollar section in Target and they shop there. But Sandy Alderson came in today and said, that's going to change. We're going to the gourmet section and we're going to be cooking up some filet mignon. So prepare for that. Prepare to be shopping at the top of the line. But does that mean we're going to spend crazy? No, absolutely not. Again, this is a market that's going to be ballooned by a bunch of non-tenders, guys that you didn't even think will get non-tendered, but they're going to get non-tendered because teams are going to cut costs. So who those guys are, I'm waiting to see. I'm excited to see who those players are going to be. I think they'll wait for that and then start making moves. He said he's already spoken to teams. He's already spoken to agents. There's things set and ready. They're just waiting for the processes to go through. He wants to get a president of baseball operations in place. So like that, they can go ahead and start proceeding with making the moves, because he wants that person to get input and insight, and he wants that person to leave their footprint on the team as well. So that person has to get a say so. There's rumors that it's going to be a two-man team. Might be just a one-man job. Don't know yet. But excited to find out who that is going to be. I have full confidence in Sandy Alderson and Steve Cohen when it comes to who they choose. Analytics. They spoke about it. Steve Cohen has lived his life working on analytics. This is going to be a team that's going to have a beefed up analytics department. They're going to hire upwards of maybe 20 guys or more to really, really develop what we have. So he focused on that. He talked about that as well. Developing players. You know, we don't want to just keep buying guys on the market when we can develop our own superstars, which leads to Michael Conforto is going to get an extension. I think that's number one. That's going to happen without a shadow of a doubt. And Sandy Alderson talked about that. He also talked about just Syndergaard and just the guys that are in place. A lot of these guys he drafted. So he wants to see the fruits of his labor succeed. So he's going to build on that. And we have the best pitcher in the game. And everybody's seeing what's happening with Mike Trout and the fact that they're just struggling to really put a winning team around him. We're not going to try to do that. We got Jacob deGrom in the prime of his life, the best years of his life, and we want to put him in position to win a championship because he deserves that. After the press conference, Sandy Alderson went on WFAN, which had the Mets. Jeff Wilpon had problems that he didn't want the team to go to certain media outlets. He didn't want them to speak to ESPN. He didn't want them to speak to WFAN. Whether that changes, I don't know. But Sandy Alderson went to WFAN, spoke with them, and he said it. And he said it during his press conference, and he reiterated it on the show on WFAN with Craig Carton. He said basically that the Mets have become a team that people want to be a part of. That is significant. Went on the WFAN show and said that immediately after the press conference, a major league player was inspired by the way Steve Cohen spoke, that he told his agent, get on the phone with Sandy Alderson, let's talk. That is significant. That never happened with the Mets, ever. So the fact that that's happening now, I'm very, very happy for this team, for the fans, for myself. We deserve it. We've dealt with so much trauma. The LOL Mets are gone. This is going to be a different team, built on hustle, built on just talent. This is a team that, despite what Van Wagenen did with the AA and AAA, which was significantly just shot, and Sandy Alderson said that as well, was stripped to make the deals for Cano and Edwin Diaz and Marcus Stroman. So we're going to rebuild that, and that's what's going to happen. So he's going to rebuild that. We're going to get guys in here that's going to come in. This is going to be a completely different team. I fully expect them to be in on JT Realmuto. They need a catcher. Why not go for the best catcher? Make a statement, because that's what we're going to do. Obviously, you don't care what the Phillies are doing, but this is the best catcher on the market in Major League Baseball, period, today. That's the guy we have to go get. It starts with him building defensively. He even took accountability for the lack of defense that was brought up into the team, in favor of offense. And now we're taking a different approach. I fully expect them to be in on a trade, whether it be Correa, whether it be we're getting somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's Arenado. We keep our shortstops. We don't know. But we're going to be involved in a big trade. We're going to be involved in free agent signings. We're going to bolster the bullpen, and we're going to bolster the starting rotation. Who those guys are going to be, we don't know. But Trevor Bauer has interest. And I think things are headed in the right direction when it comes to the New York Mets. Again, guys, don't forget to listen to the podcast this Friday. Brand new podcast. I'm going to be talking about the Astros and the cheating scandal. And I'm going to have a guest, and we're going to be talking baseball. Again, I'm Rompe. This is The Work on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications. Thanks for watching The Work on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell after you subscribe to get the notifications. Also, like and please leave a comment. And lastly, don't forget to come get this work.